This video is about the line thickness parameter, which is the second parameter to keep in mind when creating shape outlines for Shape Genie. Long story short, the thickness of your line should be 5 to 10 pixels thick. Let's explain why. So in panel A, here is a sample shape that you might want to measure. And if you zoom in here in this red window, the thickness of the line should be between 5 to 10 pixels thick. And we set the minimum at 5 simply because when you feed your image into Shape Genie, it goes through various processing steps. And we find that a minimum width of 5 pixels is most reliable for detecting the line. So for the shape in panel A, panel B shows that a parallel grid system is a good system of choice. This is a segue into explaining why we put 10 as a maximum for the line thickness. So after overlaying a radial grid onto an object, Shape Genie goes and searches for every intersection between a radial line and the object. In this line right here, there are 2 intersections. But let's look at this blue line right here. This blue line intersects the object 3 times. But if we zoom in on this junction right here in the red box, we see that if the thickness of the lines are too thick, what happens is that nearby objects begin to merge into one. And so if there's no white space in between these 2 curves, then Shape Genie will count this as 1 intersection instead of 2. Thus, if your lines are too thick, then you might be losing information. Therefore, 2 labs studying this same image might get different results simply because they use a different thickness. Thus, we recommend a thickness of 5 to 10 pixels. A natural next question is to ask, how do you check the thickness of your lines if you already have mask generated? Well, there are multiple ways of doing it, but we recommend a simple one through a software called Fiji. This is the logo, and you can download Fiji at this link. Fiji started as a software called ImageJ. This is its logo. But Fiji is a version of ImageJ that comes with a bunch of packages pre-installed, and this is Fiji's logo. So when you load Fiji, this is its floating menu. And here I've opened an image. We've zoomed in to see the thickness of this green mark. And in Fiji, you can choose this line tool right here, draw a line across the mark, and then in the bottom of this floating window, Fiji would tell you what is the length. And here we see that the length is 5 pixels. So this line that we drew is 5 pixels representing the thickness of this green mark. So that's a simple way of doing it. Fiji is open source, meaning it's free, and it does a lot of cool things. So it's just a good tool to know. For those who want to trace shapes in their images through a basic photo editing software, that is possible. On a Macintosh, there is a free software called Preview. This software is a standard program that views PDFs and images. And if you click on this pen tip icon, these editing options appear, and this icon right here allows you to pick the line thickness, and we recommend picking the middle one. For those on PC, the built-in photo editing software on Windows usually has this sliding scale that you can pull left and right to increase or decrease the size of your line. We recommend 5 pixels, which is around right here. Now, the 2 photo editing softwares I just talked about allow you to trace objects on this image, as you see here, and this is done in the Preview software on a Mac. However, these softwares do not have a way of extracting the shape that you traced into a mask. We have the tools to help you do that, but they are not built into Shape Genie yet. So reach out to us and we can either do it for you or we can teach you how to do it through Fiji, which is an open source software that is free.